Hello everyone, welcome back to Tauros All Access. I'm Evan Epstein alongside Ken Oda. Ken?
Say clearly not Lauren Hill.
Yeah, Lauren's out filming at the bowling alley, which we'll see coming up later this week. But last Friday, Ken, Adam Mahler assisted Jesse Ahala to become the all-time leading point scorer by a defenseman for the Tauros with 67, and you were in St. Cloud to see it.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment for Adam. He's been a long-time Toro, 3-year guy, just like the guy he passed. Jake Diddle was a 3-year guy, former Toro captain. Adam has an A on his jersey, and coincidentally, Jake Diddle went and played at St. John's in the St. Cloud area, so he was just down the road. So it was a cool moment for Adam to get that piece of history. We've already seen him set the single-season goal record, the career goal record. He's been playing so well this year, and it was cool to get him that piece of Toro history.
Absolutely. I had a chance to sit down with Adam Mahler last week. Take a look. I'm Evan Epstein here, joined by Adam Mahler. Adam, you lead the league in goals scored by a defenseman with 11. What has given you your scoring success this year?
I think it's just been our team as a whole. A lot of guys have been making good plays, and I've been fortunate to find myself in the right spot at the right time and just been able to capitalize on opportunities pretty often. So I think that's been it.
You're now tied for most career points by a Minotoro as a defenseman. What would having that record mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty cool to have. I've been here for 3 years now, so it's something that I never really looked at, but now that it's in front of me, it'd be pretty cool to have. It just means a lot. The city of Minot's just the best place to play junior hockey.
Well, yeah, you mentioned being here for 3 years. This year, with 11 goals and 16 assists, you've already surpassed your statistical numbers from last season. What has allowed you to kind of make the strides this year?
Yeah, I think just knowing big guys from last year ended up leaving, so having to step up, not really having a choice, but just kind of having to and taking pride in that. It's been a lot. I had a really good summer off the ice and on the ice, so I think that's what allowed me to take a big jump.
St. Cloud coming up this weekend. Last time the Toros played the Norsemen this year. What do you expect to see from them?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't played them in a while, but they're a pretty good team. They're quick. I mean, we'll get our pre-scout in and know what to expect, but they're a pretty quick team. I think they score a lot on the rush, so just being able to have our F3 high and keeping our neutral zone good will be a key to success.
And looking at the standings now, the Norsemen sitting in 5th right now, about 10 points behind the Toros up in 3rd. Kev, taking a step back and looking at this series from the season perspective, how important do you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to win the season series against a team, and it's 2-2 right, or 3-3 right now, I'm pretty sure. I think we split every series we've played, so it's something that it's always good to have, especially if you go into playoffs having a bit of more confidence than they do, knowing you won the season series. You can win another series if it comes down to that later.
Well, the Toros just added a lot of offense, adding Noah Gibbs, Braden Jochums, Gavin Middendorf. What do you think that says kind of about the goals of the front office?
Yeah, I mean, the goal obviously is to win a championship. We got pretty close last year, and that feeling was probably the worst feeling ever, and we know that we're not coming this close again to not win it. That's our goal, to win a championship. So that's about it.
So those 3 players have combined for 103 goals and 102 assists throughout their junior hockey careers. What type of impact do you think they're going to have on the Toros?
Yeah, I think they're all going to make an impact right away. I mean, Jochums, his first game, he didn't have a point, but he was all over the ice. Middendorf's got 3 goals in 3 games. That's pretty good. So just having depth scoring, a bit adding, will help us a lot with matchups and being able to just stack shifts against teams and making teams quit in the 3rd period. So that's about it.
Toros have been terrific on the power play all season long. Now that's been a point of emphasis from both of the coaches, leading the league at over 26%. What has allowed this team to convert at such a high rate?
Yeah, I think we got a few guys like Jack and Jesse that can pass really well, and Spence plays all the time. Bats is really good net front. We got guys that are in the right spots and can really capitalize on opportunities.
A lot of times off the face-off, team has set plays. What are your different roles and responsibilities on a couple of those different plays?
Can I think about that one for a bit?
Yeah.
All right, I'm good.
All right, should I just ask it again? All right, let's do it again.
Yeah, that's on me.
So, no, you're all good, man. A lot of the time off the face-off, the team has set plays. What are your different roles and responsibilities on a couple of those plays?
Yeah, so we have some where it's just straight man-on-man, the guy next to you have, and their forwards are going up to the points. And then there's a couple where teams will stunt their D down, so we'll have the forward kind of come out, check off, and then go stay on his guy. And if the D comes down, the D will just take his D if he's coming down the wall. And then there's a few plays that we have where we have stuff doing, and then, I mean, it's kind of a lot going on, but it's tough to explain. It's more just, you know what's going on, you know what's going on.
Makes sense. Every Thursday, team practices shootouts at the very end of practice. How important is it to get those shootout reps in?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's honestly more important for Sweeto and Miz to get those reps in, because you never know when it can come down to it. Some of us, we only have hopefully only like 4 or 5 guys that'll end up going, but it's fun more than anything to just go in, have a fun shootout, mess around a bit, try and score a fancy goal on Miz, but yeah.
Do you have a predetermined shot when you're going in? Are you reacting to the goalkeeper? What's your mindset like when you're taking it?
On Miz, I always come down and shoot low blocker, and usually it goes in. On Sweeto, you're trying to make a move every time, because he always will try and bait you or do something like that. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Adam, as we just said, tied for the most career points as a Toro by a defenseman. Okay, good luck with getting that record, and thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Had a great time speaking with Adam Mahler there, who added on another fantastic achievement to an already impressive Tauros career. And Ken, the Tauros swept the Norsemen 4-1, 3-0, and that had a huge impact on the central standings. Tauros now sitting in third place. You got the Bobcats up in first, Bruins in second, Wings in fourth, followed by the Norsemen, Bulls, Mallards, and Shamrocks.
Yeah, you're looking at where the Tauros stand now, 47 points. The sweep over the Norsemen, as you said, it's big for the Tauros. It puts the Norsemen 15 points behind the Tauros, which that matters because the Norsemen are that fifth place team right now. They're the team that's on the outside looking in on the playoff picture. So while the Tauros haven't clinched a playoff spot by any means, they now have a 15-point gap between being in and out of the playoffs. That's a pretty good margin for this time of the year. Also, you start to look at the way things shape up. Tauros have 4 left, I believe, against the Bobcats. That's 8 points on the table. Don't look now, but we talked about all season long how hot the Bobcats were to start the year. Tauros are only 9 points back of the Bobcats. Obviously, sweeping those remaining 4 games will be a tough task, but certainly Tauros not out of the picture, not just for the 2 seed, but possibly for the 1 seed, as there starts to be some division between these top 3 teams. And the Wings now are kind of in that swing position. They're 41 points on the year, 6 points back of the Tauros, 9 points ahead of the Norsemen, which sets up a big weekend for both clubs starting Friday in Aberdeen.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge weekend for both sides. I mean, the Tauros right now, like you said, 6 points between the Wings. If they can take home 4 points this weekend, now you're creating separation, as you said, between the top 3 and that 4-5 spot. It's a tough stretch upcoming for the Wings. The Wings, 6 of their next 7 series are against the top 3 teams in the division, the Bobcats, the Bruins, and the Tauros, so they're going to have to play some pretty good hockey. Meanwhile, Tauros now playing the Wings, and then they play the Shamrocks 4-4. Shamrocks currently in the bottom of the division, so a little bit more of a favorable schedule upcoming for the Tauros.
Certainly, if you're Aberdeen, there's going to be a sense of urgency this weekend. You don't want to fall, as you said, 10 points back and have a tough part of the schedule coming up, because the Tauros, not necessarily going to predict going to run through the Shamrocks to get 4 wins and follow it up with a sweep of North Iowa, but you can probably expect the Tauros to, at worst, get splits each of those weekends. So points are going to be a little bit harder to come by for the Wings they need to make sure that that gap is not huge as we head into those two stretches.
And the Tauros have played the Wings just once this year. Tauros picked up a sweep, winning 4-0 and 5-0. But Ken, as you mentioned, the Wings had a lot of injuries in that weekend and were a little bit shorthanded.
Yeah, several of their top players missed at least one of the games that weekend, whether it was injury or Leo Bulgakov was suspended, I believe, for the Friday night, came back on Saturday night. So they didn't have all of their players in the lineup. I'm expecting a healthier group. Seems like every Friday or every Saturday when I'm going through the out-of-town scores, Leo Bulgakov showing up with a goal or two. So he'll be a option A for the Wings that the Tauros have to try and slow down, and then you go from there.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting weekend for sure. And with that, that's going to bring us about to the end of our show. Tauros going on the road to play the Wings this weekend. The week after, they come back home January 24th, 25th to play the Watertown Shamrocks. QR code here to the left of Ken. You can scan that code to go to the Minotauros website, buy tickets for that series. Puck drop 7:30 p.m. Central both nights. And that will do it here for us on Tauros All Access. We'll see you tomorrow.